grade math, lesson 17. So get your books out, your math books out, open them to page 33 and 34. Tear that page out, put your name and date at the top. When you finish with your math sheet today, if you are a remote student, place it into your remote folder. If you are a hybrid student, you will put it straight into your red folder. All right, so on section 1, I want you to circle the whole number 1 where it says follow the signs. When I have you to do that, that means you are going to complete every problem in section number 1, okay? I want you to look at section 2, multiply by 2. I want you to circle the 2 that tells us that section number 2. And that tells you that you are going to complete every problem in section number 2. I want you to look at section number 3. I want you to circle the 3 that says for the section. And that tells you that you are going to do every problem in section number 3. Now, I would like for you to look at section number 4, and I'm going to do these few with you. Round to the nearest 10. So if we are rounding to the nearest 10, we can think of it a few different ways. For rounding to the nearest 10, we can look at the digit in the ones place, and that tells us what to do with the digit in the tens place. If it's 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, our digit just stays the same. And rounding to the nearest 10 would be 10. Or you can think, is 10 closer to 10, or is it closer to 20? Well, of course it's closer to 10 because it is 10. So either way, you get the same answer. 10 rounds to 10 if you're rounding. Oh, I put the wrong number up there. It's 14. I was thinking, what an easy problem. But it's 14. So 4A is number 14. All right, so here's our 14. Everything I said still is the same. I just had the wrong number up there. So we look at our digit in the ones place. If it's 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, it tells us what we're going to do with our digit in the tens place. So if it is a 4, so that tells us our 1 will stay the same, and our 1 in our tens place will stay the same. We won't mess with it, and the digit in our ones place becomes a 0. So you can think of it like that, or you can think, is 14 closer to 10, or is it closer to 20? And 14 is closer to 10, so either way, it's going to round to 10, okay? And then look at section 5. Round to the nearest 100. We have 750. So if we have 750 and we're rounding to the nearest 100, the digit behind it will be where we look. And if that digit behind it is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we know we're going to want to add 1 to the digit in front of it. So 7 plus 1 becomes 8, and everything after our rounded digit becomes zeros, 800. You can do it that way, or you can think to yourself, is 750 closer to 700, or is it closer to 800? And it is closer to 800, so either way, your rounded digit is 800, okay? Look at section 6. It says write the value, use dollar signs and decimal places. So I see some half dollars in here, and I see some quarters in here, and dimes and nickels and pennies. So when we begin counting, we always are going to count with our highest coin first, and then the next highest, and keep on going down. You always start with the coin of the greatest value, and then count under that. So I do see two 50-cent pieces. So if I see two half dollars, it's going to be 50 cents, $1. So now let's keep counting. I see our quarters. I see two quarters. So $1.25, $1.50. Go to our dimes. We're going to count by tens now. $1.60, $1.70, $1 to our nickels, $1.75, $1.80, $1.81, $1.82. Okay, so we are going to write it with our dollar sign, $1, and our decimal point, 82 cents. Now, if you had trouble counting that with Miss McDermott, do this. Go back to your half dollars, and beside your half dollars, write a little 50 beside each one. Go to your quarters, and beside each quarter, write 25. You have 2 dimes in there. Beside each dime, write 10 and 10. Go to your nickels. Beside your nickels, they're 5 cent. Write 5 and 5. And beside your penny, write 1 and 1. And then listen to me count it again as you point to your coins, okay? So we have 50 cents, $1. I'm sorry about that phone ringing, guys. Let's just wait a second. I didn't put my phone on airplane mode. Okay, so start over. So we have 50 cents and $1. We have $1.25. Point to your quarter. Point to your other quarter, $1.50 to your dime. $1.60, your other dime, $1.70. $1.75 to your nickel, your other nickel, $1.80, and then $1.81, $1.82. Okay? Look at section B. So now I see 2 $half. I see, no I don't, I see a $half and a quarter, 3 dimes, a nickel, and a penny. So for those of you who want to, you can go ahead and beside your $half write 50. Your quarters right beside it, put 25. Write 10 beside each one of your dimes. Write 5 beside your nickel. And write 1 beside your penny. Okay? So y'all ready? So here we go. We have 50, 75, go to your dimes. 85, 95, $1.05, go to your nickel. $1.10, $1.11. So we have $1.11. So we're going to write it like this. We're going to write our dollar sign, $1 and our decimal point, 11 cents. Okay? Now, somebody may be saying, how did we get from 50 to 75? Well, what I used to do when I was learning how to count coins, I knew that that 50-cent piece or that $half was the same as 2 quarters. So I would count my quarters and I would tap that 50-cent piece 2 times because I knew that it was like counting quarters 2 times. So I would say 25, 50, and then I would just go into counting my quarters, 75. And then whenever we're counting any number by tens, our tens place goes up 1 place and our ones place stays the same. So if we're at 75 and we're counting a dime, tens place goes up to 80, our ones place is the same, 85. We had another dime, so our tens place is going to go to 90, our ones place stays the same, 95. We had another dime, so our tens place is going to go up to 10, so it would be 10, and then our 5 stays the same, so with our dollars and cents, it would be $1.05. Okay, does that make sense? Then we had a nickel, so $1.05 with our nickel would be $1.10, and then we had a penny, $1.11. Okay? Go ahead and look at section 7. It says set the clock, so you're going to need to do that now. To 10:27. So it is almost halfway past the hour. So if we're setting our clock to 10:27, your hour hand is going to be almost halfway in between the 10 and the 11. So here's our 12, here's 6, here's 10, whoops, not 10. Here's 11 and 10 and 9, 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 5, 7 and 8. So our hour hand will be almost halfway in between the 10 and the 11. And then 27, the 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and we're going to have to go over just a little bit with our minute hand because we are talking about 27. So it would be 25, and then 26, 27, 10:27. And then our next clock says quarter after 12. So your hour hand is going to not be straight up on your 12. It's going to be over to the right just a hair. And then your quarter after, quarter stands for 15 after. So you'll make your minute hand 5, 10, 15 going straight out to the 3. Okay? Letter C, we have, I see. So they have 1 o'clock on the first clock. And then they want you to write 1/2 hour later. So what's how many minutes are in half an hour? So if we count around to see how many minutes are in half an hour, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's one half of the clock. So there's 30 minutes in half an hour. So if they want us to write 1:30, let me get me another clock drawn here. We have 12 and 6 and 9 and 3 and 1 and 2. If they want us to write 1:30, our hour hand is going to be halfway past our 1. It's going to be in between our 1 and our 2, not quite out that far. And then our minute hand will be straight down on the 6, and that will be 1:30. Okay, that's a half hour later, or a half hour past the 1 o'clock. Look at section 8. I need for you to circle all of section 8, and you need, I don't think I had you do that yet, you need to know all of those measurements. If you don't know them, you need to look in the back of your book. All of your measurements are in the back of your book. They begin on page, just kidding, yes, no? I thought I was going to turn to it quickly. Well, on the back of your page, yes, on page 372. You might want to dot 372 down up there beside section 8. So if you need any help on any of those measurements, you can go back there to that page and look them up. Sometimes I think kids learn them measurements a little bit quicker when they have to look them up themselves and not Miss McDermott just giving them to you over and over and over again. Okay? Look at section 9. So section 9, you're going to add commas and write the value of the circle digits. So we have 690527. 690527. So we will count over 1, 2, 3, comma. And then what digit do they have underlined? Oh, write the value of, and they have 2 circled. So we have 1s, 10s. If we have 2 10s, the value of that circle digit would be 10, 20, because it's in the tens place, and we have 2 of them. Okay? So our place values, let's review that real quick before we go on. When we have our numbers, we have our 1s place, we have our 10s place, we have our 100s place, we always have a comma. Then we have our 1,000 place. Then we have our 10,000 place. Then we have our 100,000 place. Okay? So let's look at our next digit. We have 3695. 3695. So we count over 1, 2, 3. Put our comma, so we have 3,695, and the 3 is circled. So if we have 3 and it's the thousands place, we have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So the value of that 3 is 3,000. Okay? Next we have 2840. So we have, let me make me some lines here. That didn't make any sense. What did I say we have? I'm sorry guys. 2840. So we have 2, 8, 28420. 28420. So we're going to count over 1, 2, 3. We're going to put our comma. Put them on this side. So now if we read our number, we say 28,420, and they have the 2 circled, the first 2. So that's in the 10,000s place. So we'll say 10,000, 20,000. So the value of that 2 is 20,000. Next we have 500. So we have 500, and they, what am I looking at? oh no, I'm sorry, 9581. My goodness, guys, I'm sorry. 9581. And they have the 5 circled. We count over 1, 2, 3. We have 9,581. So if we have 5 in the hundreds place, ones, tens, hundreds, we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So the value of our 5 there is 500. Okay? All right, so I want you to, in section 10, listening closely now because you're going to really like me. Section 10, circle letter A and circle letter D. That is what I will need for you to complete in that row. In section 11, circle letter A and look at letter C. On letter C, we have 502 minus 314. In 502, can we say 2 minus 4? We cannot. There's not anything over here to borrow from, so we're going to have to come borrow 1 from our 5 and make it our 4. Our 1 we borrowed, we will put right here with our 0. So now that's 10. But we're going to borrow 1 from that 10 and make it 9 and put the 1 over here with our 12. So now we have 12 minus 4 is 8, 9 minus 1 is 8, and 4 minus 3 is 1. So our answer is 188. And look, so that should be on your paper. I just gave you an answer here. Then look at letter D. We have 8,000 minus 4,615. So we can't say 0 minus 5. We can't borrow from this dude. Can't borrow from this dude. So we're going to have to borrow from the 8, cross it out, and make it a 7. Our 1 we borrowed, we're going to put right here with this 0. It's 10. So now this guy can borrow from this guy. So we're going to cross that 10 out and make it a 9. We're going to put our 1 that this guy borrowed right here. So now this guy is able to borrow from this guy. So we'll cross that 10 out and make it a 9. And now this number is 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 7 minus 4 is 3. So that is our answer. Okay? Look at... Okay, so let's just back up. In section 10, you circled letter A and D. In section 11, you circled letter A. You don't have to do letter B. Look down under homework. I want you to do all of section 2, the whole thing, so circle your 2. And then in section 3, circle letter A. And in section 4, circle letter A. So when you complete this sheet, you will be done with your math, except for your skip counting and your video. You need to be sure and complete them as well. Do a good job.